What drew me to anthropology initially was an interesting title of a class, Magic, Witchcraft, and Religion. I decided to take it because it sounded fun, and by the end of the class, my perceptions of the world were different than when I went into the class. And the whole idea of anthropology is very interesting to me and important to me because it teaches me about myself, my family, my friends, my entire network. The world around me is perceived through a lens of anthropology. And once you're in it, you can't get away from it. My name is Antonio Gioia, and I am a senior student in the Lemelson Undergraduate Honors Program at the UCLA Department of Anthropology. Well, this object right here, this red, black, and white bracelet, was given to me by one of my participants in the field. These bracelets are incredibly important in Bali where I worked, and I wanted one from the beginning. However, they're not easily acquired. You have to get them through a ritual ceremonial process, and so one individual who knew that I wanted one asked me to come over to his house on an auspicious day, and when I went there he had one ready for me, and him and one other individual tied it onto my wrist, and now I have it with me forever, or at least until it falls off, and it's very special to me. I worked on the island of Bali in Indonesia. I split my time between the central area of the island as well as the north coast, and the title of my thesis is Tradition to Modernity, the Use of Color Symbolism Among Balinese Youth. So I look at Balinese people approximately ages 16 to 26 and analyze how they perceive symbolic traditional colors and how they adopt those colors from ritual, ceremonial, and religious settings and bring them into their own lives. I was very fortunate in 2012 to get a job as a supplemental instructor of freshman anthropology at a community college, and I went to Bali with the professor in order to help out with teaching the students. And when I was there, I was incredibly captivated by the rich culture and the extreme tie between everyday life and religion in Bali, and so I did an independent project over there, and that blossomed into this research that's now active. One time I was on the North Coast and it was late at night and I wasn't sure who I was going to be able to speak to that night because one of my interview participants had to work late and said that we would talk the next day. So I was hanging out at a lounge where some live music was playing and nobody seemed to be very interested in talking to me. And so I heard these two guys complaining about how horrible the music was and how they needed to get out of there, and I thought, okay, these are my guys. So I went over there and asked them why they thought the music sucked, and they said that, you know, there's the best dance club in the world just down the road, but that it's too expensive and that they couldn't afford to go. So I offered to pay their entrance fee, and we went together, and that was one of the most incredible experiences of my entire field research, because when we went into this club, I was the only American in there. It was all young Balinese people. They were all wearing these colors that I'm studying, and it was just incredible to see people as walking illustrations of the thing that I was, you know, questioning over the course of the study. And aside from that, just relationships with individuals. I think that over the course of field research, when you're asking people questions, from there they go on to speak about their own lives, and you really hear about who they are as people. And you know, now I'm connected to these people through Facebook and all these sorts of these new avenues, and we still keep in touch. So I think that the whole process of field research is incredible. It formulates relationships and connections that will stay with you forever.